Welcome to the Guided Expressions podcast with Martin Williams, the place to learn and be inspired to live your best life. Here is your host, Martin Williams.
And thank you for tuning into the Guided Expressions podcast. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You may do so at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. All the links to the podcast can be found at guidedexpressions.com/podcast. Today, what I wanted to talk to you about is how to set goals that we actually reach. And I wanted to relay a story about me and my newfound hobby, which is running. I started running at the end of January. I looked at my weight when I was on Christmas vacation. My family and I went to a hotel, and the hotel had a gym. So I decided to go down to the gym and check it out. And in the midst of checking it out, I saw a scale, and I had kind of an internal rule of not weighing myself because I didn't want it to affect my daily habits in one way or the other. So I generally had a rule where I didn't weigh myself. Whenever I walked by a scale, I would just keep on walking. But I was curious, so I got on the scale, and it was way more than I expected it to be, and it came as a bit of a shock, to be honest. No, don't get me wrong. Over the holidays, I certainly ate plenty of food, and I didn't really turn down a whole lot of opportunities to eat over the holidays. But even factoring in maybe 10 pounds, it seemed like I gained a lot more than that. And, I felt really down on myself because I was walking every day, and, I started doing intermittent fasting, and I felt like I was slimming down. I definitely felt like I was lighter than I was before, but it seemed like whatever gains I had made over the last, 6 months or longer went away within a month or so. So when we got back home, I said, well, I got to do something because I can't be at that weight. I mean, I just can't. I don't have to tell you that the more you weigh, you're inviting other health problems. And generally speaking, I'm in good health. There are some things that I want to clear up, but I don't want it to be any more than that. So I was very mindful of where I was. So I said, what is it that I can do? Because obviously the walking, even though the walking's good, I think the walking was more of a maintenance thing at this point. What could I do to actually break through and lose more weight? So I decided to start running. Now, there's a lake here near where I live, and the lake is about 3 miles around the lake, and people run and walk on that around that lake every day, and certainly every morning. And so I decided that by June I was going to run around that lake, not stopping. I was going to be able to run around that entire lake and do it without stopping. Now, I walk, pretty much every day up to this point. And it was a bit of a shock when I first started running, and how little ground I was actually able to, get to without having to stop. I was just out of breath. And I would say, I don't even know if it was maybe 100 or 200 steps or strides before I had to stop. And probably not even that much. But it was just I was just really out of shape. And so that was another shock. But I kept at it, and before the whole lockdown thing happened, I would run every other day. So I would run one day, and then I'd go to the gym, and I'd lift. And this one thing I wasn't doing last year, I was doing a lot of walking, but I wasn't doing a lot of lifting. So I started adding lifting to my regimen, and I saw that the weight was starting to come off. And so, I would estimate that maybe my first month of really hitting it hard, I probably lost about 5 pounds. And I started tightening up my diet a little bit, limiting the amount of sugar, limiting the amount of fast food and everything else. Didn't eliminate it, but I limited. I went from doing it every day and, maybe this like a couple times a week. Right. So I saw the weight kind of come down a little bit. And then the lockdown thing happens, and then the gyms close. And so not lifting anymore. Now it's basically either home workouts or I'm running. And thankfully they haven't closed the parks yet. So, I'm still running 4 to 5 times a week. And certainly the running has been a lifesaver, in a lot of ways, because not just with the weight, but also it's been great for anxiety. It's helped me to relieve a great deal of stress that this time has brought on all of us at very different, varying levels, of course. But my point is that, I set this goal to run around the lake, and I'm 2 months in, maybe 2.5 months in, and I can get a third of the way around before having to stop, which is quite a feat considering where I started. And by the end of this month, my goal is to get all the way, to get 2/3 around without having to stop. Now, I know that last third is going to be a challenge. But, we're talking 3 miles here. We're talking about, a 3-mile run where, when I first started, I probably couldn't do 1/10 of that. So why am I telling you all this? And I'm telling you all this because I think that when we set goals, I think we don't set them correctly. For years, I had a goal of losing weight. And I would have moderate success. But I would always hit a wall. And I don't know about you, but it gets frustrating. The more times you hit that wall, you get to a point where you just don't want to try anymore. And I think a lot of people end up giving up because they feel like, what's the use? I'm just going to end up in the same place. And, we can do this for weight loss. We can do this for business. We can do this in our personal lives, whatever our goals may be. And, what I had to learn and what this really taught me is I think when we set goals, we're looking for the end result, but we're not looking to grow. And I think if the goal were to grow instead of just getting something, I think that we would have not only growth, which is really a need for all of us. We all need to grow in some way. We'd have growth, but we'd also have the goal that we're seeking after. To put it simply, there's no way that I'm going to run around that entire lake and not lose weight. There's no way it's not going to happen, right? And now I'm up to 5 days a week running, which is a complete 180 from where I was at the end of last year. There's no way that I'm going to run that much and not lose weight. And if I further, bring my diet under subjection, I should say, then I'm going to lose even more. But the thing is, it's not the primary thing. The primary thing is I got to get around that lake. Like, that's my goal. That's what I'm after. Okay. And, when you think about Think and Grow Rich, and Napoleon Hill talked about a major definite purpose. When you think about the Bible and it says, this one thing I do, forsaking all other things, this one thing I do. When we have this singular focus of growth in line with what it is that we want to accomplish, something happens within us. Of course, we grow, we get better, we gain confidence, we gain more wisdom, and then we also get the thing that we really wanted. Like we really, like for me, I really want to get down to a certain weight, and I'm getting there. Like I notice that my clothes fit different than they did, even 4 months ago, because of all the running I'm doing. So learn to be creative with your goal setting. If you want to increase your income, maybe set a goal to say, I'm going to put out a course every quarter, right? Or I'm going to put out a program every quarter. Or I'm going to have this many clients. Or or maybe if it's sales, I'm going to reach out to 10 clients every day. If you reach out to 10 clients every day, at the end of the year, you're going to have clients, right? And you're going to have a lot of them because of that daily practice, that challenge. There's something about challenges that human beings, we love a challenge. We love to really reach after something because it causes us to become better than what we've been performing at for such a long time. We really are better than what we think we are. Sometimes we just need that challenge. So think about the goals that maybe have been kind of sitting out there for a while and you haven't really made any progress towards them. In what way can you challenge yourself to reach that goal this year? In what way can you, really focus in on something that would be fun to do, but also would bring a certain amount of growth. It would have to, and it would also pull you across the finish line that you've been struggling to reach. Think about that over the next 7 days, and reach out to me on my Facebook page, Martin Williams, the Facebook page. Reach out to me there and tell me what you come up with, and I'd love to hear your stories. So my name is Martin Williams. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Guided Expressions podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and I will talk to you soon.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Guided Expressions podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify to get all the latest content from Guided Expressions. No one builds a house without a blueprint, so why are you trying to build your dream life without one? That's how the Blueprint course was created. The Blueprint course is for people who know they were meant for more. Created by Martin Williams, the Blueprint is a streamlined way to help you create the life you've always wanted. Get instant access now by clicking the link in the description box or going to guidedexpressions.com/blueprint.